Drafting with Numot Modern Masters 2017 number 3.
Hello friends, Kenji back with what will probably be the very last Modern Masters 2017 draft that I upload for Numot Gaming and YouTube. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I'm getting a little tired of this format. Really only a few archetypes are that strong, and some of the commons are just way too pushed and way too powerful, so you see a lot of the same decks doing very, very well in this format. But I thought I would give it one more run before we call it a day, so let's see what happens. Let's see if we can build a spicy one, or if it just ends up with another blue-black X deck. We'll see. Boom shakalaka, the draft is fired, and we opened a mythic. Not exactly the best mythic ever, but definitely one that I'm going to probably just first pick here. Even as a 3/4 flyer for 4, that would be, decent stats in any limited environment. And Linvala does have actually a lot of utility in this format. There are a lot of creatures with activated abilities, as this is a Modern Masters format. In fact, you can see some of the better ones in this pack, including the Mistmetal Witch and the Vithian Stinger here. So, Linvala, a good pickup. I'm going to go ahead and take her. What am I passing? Entomber Exarch, pretty nice. Mistmetal Witch, Vithian Stinger, Agony Warp, and some other fine cards. Nothing too amazing, though. If I end up going Esper, don't be surprised. If I end up going some form of blue-black, or rather blue-white Blink, don't be surprised. But we'll take the Linvala and see what gets passed to us. Oh, no. Why would they do that to me? Why would they do that to me? They know. They know I'm going to take it. That's not fair. And in fact, this is an insane pack for just Grixis in general. We have a Cruel Ultimatum, Sidraxis Spectre, Terminate. Wall of Frost is not even that bad. Chandra's Outrage, Grizzly Spectacle. Oh, baby. Why would they do this to me? Why would they do this to me? Guess I'm just going to take the Cruel Ultimatum here. What are correct picks? Maybe Terminate or Grizzly Spectacle. Certainly cards that keep you more open and, well, a lot more castable than the Cruel Ultimatum. But if they're going to pass to me second pick, I am not going to turn it away. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to play it, but it certainly means I'm going to take it here. Alright, nothing really to follow up the Cruel Ultimatum, honestly. I mean, you could take Wall of Frost, but that doesn't seem like a great third pick. Sunhome Guildmage, just very, very, very solid. Late game, this card becomes a single card win condition. Augur of Bolas, I don't want to take it that late, although it is flavorful with Cruel Ultimatum, and it goes very well into the Cruel Ultimatum decks, truth be told. Deputy of Acquittals is fine. Grixis Slave Driver. I could just take the Orzhov Guildgate here and stay open. That's probably the best bet, given what I've taken so far. None of these other cards particularly interest me, nor are they powerful enough to really want me to take them. So we'll just take the Guildgate, see what happens. And looks like we're going to pick up another nice one here. Falconwrath Noble, certainly very, very good. And one of the cards I was talking about that they pushed down to common, whereas it was uncommon before, and not very fun to run into multiples of these. There's a Sprouting Thrynax here. Whoops, Sprouting Thrynax here. Just a very, very good, solid creature. Golgari Signet, and like a Dimir Guildgate. I think I'm going to go ahead and just take the Falconwrath Noble. I generally don't take these too highly, but the only other consideration here for me is like the Signet or maybe the Guildgate. So we'll go with the Noble, see what we get past from here on out. And this looks to be a very easy Azorius Signet. One of the better Signets for sure. And if I end up going Esper, poor Cruel Ultimatum. If I end up going Esper, then this is going to be real nice. It's also really nice for the Linvala, going turn 2 Signet, turn 3 Linvala, as this does add white for you. Other good cards in this pack include Thunderous Wrath, Spire Monitor, some more Guildgates, and some medium other cards. But Signet's going to be an easy pick here for me, which is then going to be followed up with like a Sin Collector. Not the best card in the world, but certainly one I don't mind taking here. Looks like Grixis might actually just be dead, so I don't mind putting the Cruel Ultimatum to the side. The only other card I would consider taking over Sin Collector is the Jailbreaker, and maybe the Rotworm, but we'll take the Sin Collector and continue down this current path that we're on. And we get a nice pickup in the Arcane Sanctum. Otherwise, Rock's War Monk, Seaside Citadel, Ghostly Flicker, Core Skyfisher. All of those are actually quite solid cards. So this is one of the better packs we've seen, even though this is pack 7 or pick 7. But yeah, easy Arcane Sanctum here. If I'm going black-white, I generally pair it with blue. And for that matter, I will be taking the Dimir Guildgate here. Either Toe, Crippling Chill, Bone Splinters, Pitfall Trap, all fine, but Dimir Guildgate going to do some nice work, especially if we wheel any of those Jailbreakers. None of which are in here, but we do have an Agent of Masks, which isn't terrible. I think a lot of people underrate this card, undervalue this card. 5 mana, 2/3, obviously not very good stats, but in control matchups, this generally does quite a bit of work. And the thing is, because the best decks in this format are generally control-oriented, Agent of Masks is usually pretty good. So we're going to take that here over Night Terrors or the Guildgate. Nothing much here for us. Kraken Hatchling is whatever. Looks like we might be base black-white and maybe only splashing blue, rather. But we'll take the Hatchling and see what else we get. All right, I'm going to take the Augur of Bolas here over the Either Toe. Either Toe you can pick up pretty late. Well, I guess Augur of Bolas similarly, but I do like the Augur more than the Toe. And we'll take another Guildgate here pretty happily. Passing a Crippling Chill. All right, so no Jailbreaker on the wheel, but I'm not too upset. We picked up 4 nice lands for a Esper deck, and I mean, the main deck cards I have right now aren't amazing, but they're certainly fine. Linvala and Falconwrath Noble leading the pack there. All right, few last pickups. Yeah, Ghostly Flicker, actually very nice. I do plan on picking up quite a few creatures that have Enters the Battlefield abilities, so Ghostly Flicker last pick was really good for us. Just like opening a Cackling Counterpart is not too shabby. In fact, this pack is just not very good for us in general. Attended Knight and Spire Monitor, the only other 2 cards I would be considering taking here. But Cackling Counterpart is kind of like a pseudo-bomb. In these type of decks especially, where you can put a lot of cards in your graveyard from like Forbidden Alchemies and whatnot. Cackling Counterpart copies a creature you control, and then you can always flash it back later on in the game. So pretty happy to pick it up and see what we get past. Looks like it's going to be a Mist Meadow Witch. This is one of the most brutal uncommons in the format. So brutal, especially in a deck that you want to be flickering creatures with. Again, I don't have too many great ones to start flickering. Augur of Bolas and Sin Collector on the lower end of the power level of cards you want to flicker, but man, just combining this with like a Dinrova Horror, a Mist Raven, a Grixis Slave Drive, there's just so many things that work well with this. Plus, you don't have to flicker your own, or rather, exile your own creatures. You can do this to the opponent's creatures, so it's very good versus the token deck. It's very good at just stabilizing and holding off a lot of defenders. Cards I'm passing here, Agony Warp and Gideon's Lawkeeper, but gonna happily take the Mist Meadow Witch. And speaking of Dinrova Horrors, how about that? This is a very easy pickup. This is the best common in the format, in my opinion. And we already have, the Witch, a Ghostly Flicker, a Cackling Counterpart. I would play as many of the horrors as I can pick up, so good stuff indeed. Right now, probably cutting that Kraken Hatchling. I don't mind playing this in the control decks, but oftentimes I end up with so many good playables anyways that I don't need to run, an 0-4 for one. Currently cutting the Augur of Bolas 2, probably. We'd much rather just have Seagate Oracles, but in a pinch it can do some work. Alright, a few options here. Selesnya Signet, as it does provide white. Eyes in the Skies, honestly not terrible, and especially if I pick up some Splicers. And then the Talon Trooper, which I'm probably going to take. 3 mana, 2/3 flyer, just solid stats. It's on color. And yeah, not too upset about passing any of those cards. But yeah, like I was saying, Splicers would be great. Either the blue or the white one are both excellent, as the white Splicer, the Master Splicer, produces a 4/4. The blue Splicer gives a 3/3 flyer. There's also like Lingering Souls we could randomly pick up, as I take another Talon Trooper here. I don't need to prioritize these lands, these guild gates very highly, as I already have 4 on-color lands plus the Signet, so happy to take another 2/3 flyer. And we might just be winning with flyers in this particular deck. I'm looking for removal. I don't have any removal right now. At least not any hard removal. Whew, baby, what is this? That is a 6th pick, Phantasmal Image. Not sure how that's still there. Also a Serum Visions in the pack, as well as a Momentary Blink and a Spell Pierce, but yeah, Phantasmal Image is a wonderful card. It doesn't work with Mist Meadow Witch, and it doesn't work with Cackling Counterpart, but it would work with like a Core Skyfisher, and it's just very good in general, so happy to slam that. And I think here I'm happy to take a Forbidden Alchemy over a Momentary Blink. It's very close, though. Both of these cards do a ton of work in this type of deck. And I would like to pick up 1 Blink. In fact, is it more important to pick up a Blink or a Forbidden Alchemy, I wonder? It's close. It's certainly close. I think I'm going to lead on the Alchemy for now, but be on the lookout for a Momentary Blink later on in the draft, because those are both cards that I certainly want. So this pack 2 has certainly helped us a lot. Cackling Counterpart, Phantasmal Image, Dinrova Horror, Double Talon Trooper. We're really looking nice. And we still have another pack to go, so I'm liking the way this is looking. Ooh, Lord, especially with that Mistraven pickup. That would have been better with the Momentary Blink, but we already have the Mist Meadow Witch and the Ghostly Flicker to go along with it. So very happy to see this. This is 7th pick? Shouldn't go that late. Mistraven, probably top 5, top 10 commons in the set for sure. So happy to take that. Passing a Spire Monitor, Guildgate, and an Attended Knight, but that was wonderful. Just going to take the Attended Knight here now. This card is absolutely fine to start. It's great against the aggro decks, and it does provide you a token should you be able to populate or get value with like the flickers and whatnot. I generally sideboard it when I have enough playables, but in a pinch, not upset to just pick it up there in case we need another playable. We're looking like we're going to be base blue-white, splashing black, which is very, very common for my Grixis builds. Esper builds. I tend to play more of the blue-white flyery deck and splash some of the more powerful black cards. These are not very powerful cards, nor cards I'm very happy to see. We'll take the Crippling Chill, I suppose. We're just going to put any of these cards in the sideboard anyway, so not a big deal. In a pinch, Crippling Chill is fine. Cycle. All right. So what are we looking for now? Again, just more removal. These decks don't need removal, but if you don't have any, then you're going to need things like counters, or just enough bounce to really inhibit the opponent. We'll take another Ghostly Flicker here, as Pyroclasm somehow comes around real late. Pyroclasm very good in this format. I'm not going to look at the Soul Warden for now. I think this deck just probably wants another Flicker effect. Although, if I see a Momentary Blink, I will cut it. Or rather, run it in favor of one of these Flickers. Alright, some last few pickups that we don't need. Spell Pierce versus Youthful Knight. Neither of these cards do I generally like to main deck, so just put them both to the sideboard. Alright, last few picks. Didn't really yield anything, but we still have another pack. And we're already at 17 cards that I don't mind playing. But we'll see if we can fill it up with some better choices. And indeed, we open an Orzhov Signet. Great for us here. Comes down on turn 2, fixes for 2 of our colors. And I'm not passing too much. I am upset that a Seagate Oracle is going to go by. But other than that, Signet I think is just a very, very easy pick. Wouldn't mind getting another Dinrova Horror. Wouldn't mind getting a Spire Monitor at the 5 slot. Another Mistraven. Any of the Splicers. I don't like these Ghostly Flickers are looking medium at best for right now. Alright, there's that Spire Monitor I was hoping for. Deputy of Acquittal is just okay here, not too amazing. I should probably get one on the wheel. And if I don't, I'm not upset. I'd rather have the Spire Monitor here, so easy pickup for me. There it is. There's that Dinrova Horror we were talking about. Grisly Spectacle, very solid removal spell, but Dinrova Horror, top of my list here, especially with the double Ghostly Flicker, Cackling Counterpart, and Miss Meadow Witch. So happy to wham jam slam that. And then get past, oh geez, another one. Whew. All right. Now we're cooking. Now we are cooking. Hookmaster, either Mage's Touch, another Alchemy, but I am just going to happily take a third Dinrova Horror. And now that second Signet that I picked up is looking much, much better. The capability to play a turn 4 Dinrova Horror, just, ugh, the grossest of starts. Even a turn 5 Dinrova, very, very sick. Yeah, we're just blue white blink splashing some crazy black cards. In fact, I might be able to cut like the Agent of Masks now if I really wanted to. I think Spell Pierce can probably come in if I don't find a Rewind or a Familiar's Ruse. Again, because I'm lacking on the removal front, I wouldn't mind picking up some counters. We'll see though. We still have, what, this is only pick 5 incoming. Pick 5, Pitfall Trap, question mark? I'm not a huge fan of Pitfall Trap. In fact, I'd rather just take the toe here. But it's probably close. This one you're able to hold up early for a single white, which can be very, very relevant, but the toe is more of a blowout. That being said, we did see some either toes go around late in the initial pack, so maybe what I can do here is take the Pitfall Trap and then wheel the either toe. We'll try that out. As we get past, wow, an Evil Twin. All right, I'm very, very excited to see that. It's like a second Phantasmal Image in our deck, in a sense. And with 3 Dinrova Horror now, not going to overlook that one. All right, another Pitfall Trap if I want, versus another Agent of Masks, which I probably wouldn't main deck anyway, so let's take a second Pitfall Trap and move it to the sideboard. Ooh, now this card should not be going around this late, or maybe I just overvalue it, but Soul Manipulation is very good. Love it. Counter a creature, return a card from your graveyard, or you can do both. I'm not going to run any of these cards. Rootborn Defenses for the sideboard. There's a Deputy of Acquittals on the wheel, which I'll probably run. Oh, okay, I guess another Spire Monitor on the wheel as well. Gonna need to make a few cuts here. Probably at least 3. So I think the Attended Knight can go, as I mentioned earlier. It's more filler. Let's see here. Maybe one of the Ghostly Flickers, as we do in fact wheel the either toe. Probably cut the Spell Pierce at this point. And probably cut the Agent of Masks. I think I can get away with 16 lands here. Let's see, what mana sinks do I have? I have the Miss Meadow Witch, which does want to get to 8 mana. I have Alchemy, which gets to 7. Cackling Counterpart is 7. But with 2 Signets and 4 pieces of fixing, I think I can get away with 16 lands, no problem. That could obviously come back to bite me in the butt, but as he double butts, but I think this is fine otherwise. Although it does look like we're blue splashing black white at this point. We are heavier blue than any other color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 white cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black cards. And then almost all of our cards are blue. So yeah, much heavier blue. Okay, we should be able to run 16 here. Don't think I want any of these other cards. So let's get all these 4 lands in. Let's add. And only the Orzhov Guildgate doesn't provide blue, so that's a good sign. So we can probably go with 5, 6, 7, 8 blue sources, 9 blue sources with the Azorius Signet. Gives me room for 1 more land. 3 black, 4 black, 5, 6, 7, 8 black. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white. So let's move up on a white a teeny bit. And I think that's going to be good. Again, I could see running 17 lands, but I think we can get away with 16 with the double signet. So let's save this. Very good Esper deck here in Modern Masters 2017. A little bit short on removal, but a lot of bounce and other nice synergies. So let's go down to the matches and see if we can pull out some 6 wins. The first match of this Modern Masters League where we're playing Esper, we are on the draw, and I'm going to have to ship this hand as a 6 and 2 5s with 2 planes is not an acceptable hand. And this, on the other hand, much better. We have all 3 of our colors and a signet to ramp. I'm actually going to bottom the either toe as I want to find more action. But a turn 3 Falconwrath Noble's not the worst case scenario. Lead with the planes here. Into an island, into the signet. Opponent's playing some Abzan tokens, it looks like. Alright. Soul Warden into Avacyn's Pilgrim. Ooh. Hello, friend, Mr. Dinrova. We do have 3 of those in the deck. Hopefully we don't get battered too quickly here. But I think Falconwrath Noble into a Pitfall Trap should let us stabilize unless the opponent does some crazy business. Oh man, now that I'm looking at the opponent's board, I really wish I had taken a Coward and Fear for the sideboard or even the main deck. Would have done a ton of work. Tendonite gains the opponent some life off their Soul Warden. They do miss a land drop, however. So we are going to be content playing our 4-mana 2/2, which holds off everything except the Attendant Knight. Yeah, they did find another land. That puts them up to 3. What card do I not want to see here? Gaia's Anthem. That would be very bad for me. Card does a ton of work. Be pretty sad to just see a removal spell like a Putrefy here too. Oh, boo! Alright, I will just take the hit here for 5. It's likely they have like a Slaughterhorn. It could just be that they have a Rootborn Defenses or something, but I'm going to hold up my mana for a Pitfall Trap next turn. Oh, it looks like it was a Strength in numbers, which they went ahead and just used immediately. Okay, but we did find a Mist Meadow Witch. We'll play our land out and just pass. Now with the Pitfall Trap open, I feel much more comfortable blocking. For those in the know, Strength in numbers. Target creature gains trample and gets +X/+X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Now remember, you can use this defensively. If your opponent's attacking you with like 3 creatures, you can use this on one of your own creatures to give it +3/+3. It doesn't specify that you have to be attacking. It just asks how many creatures are attacking this turn. So something to note. As a Gift of Orzhova on their Attended Knight is going to put it out of Pitfall Trap range. But fortunately for us, Dinrova Horror is going to say, well, go back to your hand, my friend. Notably, I am already at 7 life, but now I start doing some real business here with the Dinrova Horror and the Mist Meadow Witch combo. Gideon's Lawkeeper is an annoying one, certainly. We're just going to pass the turn. If we go to a prolonged game with this current position, I don't think we can lose. It's only if our opponent batters us down a little bit too quickly, out-aggroes us. But I think we've certainly stabilized. They do have a white still open with that Avacyn's Pilgrim, though. So, something to note. Definitely something to note. In fact, what I'd probably do is just main phase Dinrova Horror, tap down their Gideon's Lawkeeper. Alright, we'll play a land, go to combat, see if they want to tap down my creatures now. They do not, which is correct. And so now we're just going to main phase the Dinrova. Remember, this Mist Meadow Witch returns it at the beginning. Oh, wait, I guess I don't have 7 mana to do that, so maybe I don't. But this returns at the beginning of the next end step, so it doesn't flicker immediately. So, if I can't hold up Pitfall Trap, that's super annoying. Yeah, in fact, I probably just cast out my Talon Trooper here and then hold up the Pitfall Trap. I think that's the safer play. And then next turn, I can hold up Miss Meadow Witch plus Pitfall Trap if I don't use the Pitfall Trap this next turn. Nice fellow. All right, let's see what kind of beatings I'm going to take here. So the horror gets tapped. Okay. Let's see if they tap my Talon Trooper here. Golgari Germination. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 green sapling. All right, not too bad here. Not too shabby. Oh, but no attacks from the opponent. Okay, that's awesome for us. Now we get to untap. And actually just pass the turn here, I think. Well, no, I guess we might as well play out the other Dinrova Horror, holding up a single white for the Pitfall, targeting their Gideon's Lawkeeper. Boom. They discarded Forest. All right. So good stuff for us. As their Lawkeeper comes back down. If they ever empty their hand, Dinrova Horror simply becomes a Vindicate. Because you can bounce their permanent, and then they have to discard it as it's going to be the only card left in their hand. Okay. So let's go to combat. To attack with one of our horrors. They take 4. And now we will flicker it. And end of turn, it's going to come back. Let's keep bouncing their Lawkeeper. Keep making them discard. And they discarded the Lawkeeper. Okay, so whatever's in their hand is a little bit scary, I would imagine. Path to exile my Miss Meadow Witch. That's going to happen. Didn't have another land to hold that open, unfortunately. As we get another white source here. All right. And another Lawkeeper. So this game's going to be a little bit harder now. But we should be able to pivot ourselves into a winning position. Actually, I think it's better to attack with both of our flyers than it is the Dinrova Horror, as it's the same amount of damage, but the Dinrovas are much better at stabilizing. Okay, let's bounce. Lawkeeper. I could have probably attacked with one more creature, but with how low life we have, I think it's better to play it a little more cautionary. We still have like a ghostly flicker we can draw and whatnot, which would be nice. Alright, no attacks. Ooh, a Soul Manipulation. That is a nice one. We'll run out the Sin Collector here. See what's going on in the opponent's hand. Last card that they just drew this turn. Might as well. No creatures in my graveyard, notably, to actually return back with this Soul Manipulation. An Unflinching Courage. Wow, that could be terrifying. But they don't have any flyers right now, so let's just bash in with our flyers, and Pitfall Trap should be able to get them. All right, they're going for something. Tap one of my Dinrovas. Unflinching Courage, their Attended Knight. I could actually just triple block here. But we'll simply just use the Pitfall Trap at this point. We're also going to gain a life here, and they're going to get a 1/1 from the Golgari Germination. It's a trap. Indeed it is, my friend. Indeed it is. And now, actually, we get to start attacking with our big butts, I think. I don't want to get too greedy, though. I think we can actually attack in with the 2 4/4s and the 2/1. They're tempted to trade away for the 2/1, but that actually gains me 2 life because of the Falconwrath Noble. And it looks like they chumped the Dinrovo already. Wow, okay, awesome. Well, now I'm feeling in really good shape, and I've put a creature in my graveyard for our soul manipulation. Okay. Tapping one of my horrors. Let's attack in for 4. Or sorry, 6. Leave back 2 blockers. Although if I was smart, I probably would have just attacked with everything. But I think playing it conservatively is probably not bad. Our top end game seems much more powerful than their early aggressive game. Okay. We are flooding out a little bit here, though. I'm going to tap my horror. Make the same attack we did previously. Alright, Chumpsville it is. Yeah, and now we're probably just going to start attacking with all of our creatures the very next turn. As we're at a healthy life total again, and our board presence is just dominating. Deathhood Cobra. We'll let that resolve. That's not actually a huge problem. I don't mind if it trades away with one of my Dinrovas. We'd rather save Soul Manipulation for like a random Obsidat if they had it. Alright, more lands. That's 11 of our 16 lands in our deck. That's pretty good. Alright, Talon Trooper gets the Tippity Tappity. We're just going to attack with everything. Alright, some trades are going to go on here. This is actually going to put the opponent at 3 life. Okay, Death Touch to their Deathhood Cobra. And we get to drain them for 2 with our Falconwrath. They get a 1/1 Germ token. I guess I could have used Soul Manipulation on my Dinrova Horror and then bounce their Gideon's Lawkeeper, but shouldn't really matter. Any 2 of our flyers are lethal next turn. Core Skyfisher. Alright, well, we found a target. Bounce that. Get back our Horror. And that is going to be all she wrote for game 1. A slow, steady grind until we were just way too far ahead. And yeah, this game was pretty academic. Last card in their hand is Giant Baiting. Whoa! Well, that's actually terrifying. Wow, I'm at effectively 4 life if they wanted to. Damn, did not expect that. What the Abzin Giant Baiting? What? Alright, well, they're dead on board. So let's go to a game 2. That's crazy. Wow, I'm kind of reeling over that Giant Baiting. Not a card I had anticipated. Alright, Intended Knight probably coming in here. Could bring in the other Pitfall Trap too. Let's see, we saw both the Unflinching Courage and the Gift of Orzhova from the opponent. Hell, even Kraken Hatchling doesn't seem terrible. Intended Knight in... I guess Either Toe doesn't seem... Well, no, that's good versus their enchantments. Maybe Sin Collector. What did Sin Collector hit? We saw Path. We saw Strength in Numbers. We saw Giant Baiting. Yeah, I guess Sin Collector is still fine. Maybe just the Forbidden Alchemy. Seems fine to cut. And let's ship it back like this for game 2. Alrighty, game 2 with our Esper deck. We're going to keep this hand. We don't have any blue sources, but we can cast 3 of the creatures in our hand. So, not too shabby. Intended Knight, we know, does a ton of work versus this opponent. Burning Tree Emissary. Wow, okay. Opponent's playing a lot of cards that I would not expect in an Abzan deck. Giant Baiting and Burning Tree Emissary among them. We're still going to just run out the Witch on turn 2. If they attack with the Pilgrim, I will block the Witch, with the Witch. Despite the value that Witch has, or potentially has at any rate. No attacks with the Pilgrim, though. I guess that does represent their only white source currently. A Hungry Spriggan. Okay. There's our much needed island. I'm going to lead with the Sin Collector here. See if they have a Giant Baiting, a Path, or a Strength in Numbers. We did get the Path. Nice. So the opponent has a Seal of Doom, Signet, and a Soul Warden left in their hand. Okay. So I guess they're going to seal my Mist Meadow Witch. Get me for 4 with the Hungry Spriggan. I'll block the Burning Tree with my Sin Collector. And I'm actually going to take them off their white mana now. Linvala turns off their Avicen's Pilgrim, which is quite nice for us. Boo, they hit another Plains. I guess they already had the Signet in their hand anyways. Gonna need to hit another blue source for this Mist Raven, bounce their Hungry Spriggan. Alright, there goes their Signet. There's their Soul Warden, and 1 unknown card left in their hand. Take 4 from the Hungry Man. And I guess we're just gonna Evil Twin their Spriggan here and pass the turn. Try to shoot it down after we fall down to 6. That's not going to feel too good. Gideon's Lawkeeper, again turned off by the Linvala. And, ooh, a Wayfaring Temple. Okay, that's pretty big too. Yeah, I'm going to take 4. I'm going to fall down to 6. That's not exactly what I wanted to draw, but that's fine. Intended Knight here holding up the Spriggan. We can Ghostly Flicker the Hungry Spriggan to turn it into the Wayfaring Temple too, which is kind of sweet. I guess I might as well just do this now. Well, unless they rip a Strength in Numbers off the top, we should be in comfortable shape. I'll chump their Wayfaring Temple here with our Soldier token. Oh, they hit a Gift of Orzhova for it, though. Wow. And they're actually going to attack with everything? That is not a good play from the opponent here. I mean, what I could do here is just block all of their 1-power creatures and go to 1. But we know they have Giant Baiting in their deck, so This is interesting. Like, I think I don't mind trading off the Linvala here. And we're actually going to be able to kill their Wayfaring Temple. I'm only going to fall down to 5. Because after I kill their other creatures here, the Wayfaring Temple is going to be small enough that the damage from Linvala is going to kill it. So, let's do that. Turn late to the party, Falconwrath Noble, but, I mean, we're in excellent shape. Yeah, and let's get aggro. Not sure I like that attack from the opponent, but here we are. As another Wayfaring Temple enters the fray. And we will simply bounce that away with our Mistraven. Bash in for 8. Took a lot of early beating, but stabilized pretty darn nicely here. Ooh, the Ether Toe. It's kind of sweet too. Just gonna attack with everything here. And I guess I just pass now. Alright, attack, attack. Let's flicker our Spriggan and our Mistraven. Let's turn our Evil Twin into a Wayfaring Temple. Then let's have our Mistraven bounce their Wayfaring Temple. And Mistraven eat their Pilgrim. Get to drain one off of the Falconwrath Noble. Still hold up Deputy of Acquittals. Bingo, bango, bongo. Dead on board. Alright. Easy game. Yeah, this deck's real good. Again, one of the common, most powerful archetypes in this format, and another one of the reasons why I'm so stale, or so tired of how stale it's gotten, but, you know, when it comes together, it is great. And I fully expect to do great things with it, so. We'll kill them here, and wrap it up for our game 1. Easy. I guess match 1, rather. Stay tuned. Round 2 coming up in a second. The second round of Happy Go-Go Fun Time. We're on the draw. We're going to keep this hand. Double Guildgate, slightly awkward, but we do have that Orzhov Signet to help us get in better shape. And hey, an untapped land for turn 2. So we got to go turn 2 Signet, turn 3 Talon Trooper with a tapped land. Pretty good. Looks like we'll be fighting off versus another control-y deck, I would imagine, if they're playing blue-black. Oh boy, how many Dinrova horrors are in between both of these two decks, I wonder? Seagate Oracle coming down. These are the matches that are gross. Oh no, Inquisition! I wonder if they just take my Mist Meadow Wit. Yep, okay, well, that answers that. So Witch down. Talon Trooper the play for us here. We get Spire Monitor next turn too. Oh, they're also on Esper. Well, the thing is, I don't want to attack here because they most likely have a Spire Monitor of their own. So we're just going to pass. And even if I missed out on 2 damage, that's not hugely relevant. Oh, sure. Restoration Angel. Jesus. That is also terrifying. Soul Manipulation would have been insane there. Looks like Seagate Oracle. Drawing them a few cards this game. Azure Mage from the opponent as well. Not a happy sign for us. Alright, well, this game is going to be thrilling. Ooh, Cackling Counterpart, not too shabby. Okay, let's go Augur. See if we can find any spells. We find a Pitfall Trap, which is not going to be the best here, but we're losing a Dinrova Horror and a Falconwrath Noble, unfortunately. And we'll just have to pass the turn after this. As at this point of the game, because I have such little removal, their Azure Mage is probably going to take over. Wow, they have a Gifts Ungiven as well. Okay. Opponent might have a better Esper deck here. We'll see if they find an Unburial Rites and like a Dinrova Horror. Or what other value cards they might get. Tower Gargoyle, Miss Meadow Witch, Banishing Stroke. Okay. So let's put the Witch and the Unburial Rites in the graveyard. Either way I cut it, it's not going to be great for us. I don't want to give them the Unburial Rites because that's basically giving them 2 creatures. And the Banishing Stroke is not too much of a problem here. Yet. Because I don't really have any too important creatures. They might just be flashing back their Unburial Rites. Nope, there goes the Tower Gargoyle, sure. Still have Banishing Stroke in their deck. Not going to cackle here yet. Flicker's not a terrible draw. So now I can what? Go for a double block and then Ghostly Flicker when they try to blow me out with the... Oh, well that's awkward. Okay, so we're gonna have to cast our Cackling counterpart here, and in fact, I'm probably just casting out our Ghostly Flicker too. So let's create another Spire Monitor. Hopefully they don't have a Grisly Spectacle. But even if they do, that's not the worst case, because then we're able to also flicker in response. And then let's flicker our Augur and one of our islands, sure. Two lands and Linvala on the bottom. And then they get to eat my Pitfall Trap. They still have the Banishing Stroke in their hand. What are we looking to draw? Dinrova Horrors? They're attacking with both of their, or rather just their Tower Gargoyle. I guess we can just play it safe in here and triple block. Although Agony Warp is still an insane beating, isn't it? Ooh. Well, let's hope they don't have an Agony Warp. Cower in Fear. Okay. It's still a 2 for 2. Wasn't the worst case scenario. Hey, and there's one of our Dinrova Horrors that we were looking for so desperately. Let's bounce there. Azure Mage. They discard Deputy of Acquittals, and we just pass. I don't want to bounce the resto because then they can just get extra value from it. Mage coming back down. Banishing Stroke and one unknown card in their hand. If it's a land, I would imagine they just played it. But this could just be Unburial Rites. Which it is. Oh, no, it's a secondary Tower Gargoyle. Oh, wow, never mind. That's gross. Oh, that was actually a really nice draw, because now I'm able to take their Banishing Stroke away. And we're actually not in terrible shape now. No, that's a lie. Yes, we are. Opponent still has 2 huge flyers and the Azure Mage and the Unburial Rites in their graveyard. I lied. We're actually doing quite poorly. But I can pretend we're doing well. That'll make me feel better. Entomber Exarch. Okay, that was a good draw for them to get back one of their creatures. And yeah, this game is quite over for us as Miss Meadow Witch makes another appearance. Looks like they don't have much removal either, though. We've only seen the Cowern Fear, which is not the best of removals. Planes off the top of my library. Probably not going to cut it. I'll give this one more turn, but things are looking very grim for us. Again, the extra value that the opponent's going to get from their Mage plus their Miss Meadow Witch, in addition to their more powerful creatures, means this game is pretty much locked up. And yeah, another land off the top is not going to cut it, so I'll just scoop it up here. We'll just scoop it up and see if we can sideboard into some better options. We'll bring in that Agent of Masks. Gonna take out the Ether Toe. Gonna take out the Pitfall Trap. Gonna bring in Spell Pierce. Really wish I had a Rewind. All these other cards still seem fine, though, to me. Mystical Teachings, maybe not terrible. Pilfered Plan's probably not the worst either, but we'll just bring it in like this and see if we can beat a better deck. Game 2 versus a more powerful Esper deck. Oof. I'm on the play and I cannot keep this hand. We're shipping it down to 6. Alright, much better. Have all of our mana, have some interactive spell in the form of Sin Collector. Not thrilled with it, but hopefully we can get them with this hand. I think the only way we can win this particular matchup is to chain Dinrova Horrors and then start like flickering them and bouncing. Yes, we'll keep an Augur of Bolas. We can still go turn 2 Augur, turn 3 any of our other creatures. So I think that's a fine keep. As Inquisition is going to take one of my cards. See you later, Sin Collector? Question mark. Sin Collector in the bin, indeed. All right. Jam the Augur. Find a nothing. Ugh. As Phantasmal Image, Miss Meadow Witch, and a Guildgate are sent scurrying to the bottom of our library. Alright, they have the Mage on turn 2, which is not a huge deal for right now. It's only when the later stages of the game start appearing that that you truly have to worry. I think I'm going to get greedy here and run out the Talon Trooper as opposed to playing the Signet for the Linvala that I just drew. I think that's a fine play. Pilfered Plans. Alright, opponent's going to draw some more cards. And hopefully we just rip a land here. Beautiful. Alright. Well, we have the start that I needed, which is to say fairly aggressive. I guess a 1-3 is not supremely aggressive, but a follow-up 2-3 flyer into a 3-4 flyer might prove just enough. Okay, I'm going to imagine that Resto Angel is in the opponent's hand now. Although, honestly, can I really afford to play around it? Maybe not too much. I'm just going to try attacking with Linvala here and see if they have the Resto to bounce, which, of course, they do. All right. And now we are looking to draw nothing but Dinrova Horrors for the rest of the game. Just Dinrova Horror off the top, into Dinrova Horror, into Dinrova Horror, into Ghostly Flicker. Moroi from the opponent there. This is the turn. Dinrova would be insane. Cackles. I can't even cast. No double blue. All right. Well, things that are awkward. That. I'll take 4 here, fall to 13. I'm not going to double block the Moroi. It's too much blowout potential. No! Sin Collector on my Cackling counterpart. Yeah, didn't have double blue for it. We're just going to have to pass the turn here. The Linvala is holding off more damage than if I double block the Moroi, so we're just going to have to take another hit or two. But we are just getting plastered here. Alright, step one. Draw a Dunrova Horror. Target their 4/4 flyer. They discard a land. Now I only need to draw 2 more in a row into Ghostly Flicker, and we might have a chance. Easy, right? I'm not gonna complain about a Falconwrath Noble, which actually lets us do some work possibly. We wanted to play it pre-combat, just in case creatures end up dying here. Alright, nice little 2-for-1. This turns on our Soul Manipulation for a better target in the graveyard. And I even get to drain in for 3 points of life. This Noble might actually get us there, because the Moroi is dealing 1 damage to the opponent every upkeep. Don't count me out yet. Take another 4. Fall down to 8. Opponent with another Talon Trooper. Alrighty. Okay, Forbidden Alchemy. Let's find some goodies under here. Spire Monitor, Agent of Masks, all uncastable. I guess another flyer is probably just the correct pick. And then we'll pass the turn. Opponent falls down to 9. I'm going to take another hit here for... Oh, wow. So they drew a Cower in Fear, which means to preserve our Linvala, I need to block one of the 2/3s. And then just bounce off here. Okay, we'll pass like this. They'll use their Cower. I'm still going to gain... I'm not going to gain any life, actually. Oh yeah, I'm going to gain 1 life from our Talon Trooper dying. I'll fall down to 1 life. Or they're not going to use it, which is also fine by me. Okay. So we simply got to eat one of their 2/3s and they're passing. 2, 3, 4. I can deal 4 damage to them since I'm putting them on Cower. But instead, I think we just attack with the Augur of Bolas, leave back our flying blockers. Oh, sure, a Deputy of Acquittals. Okay. If they eat my Augur of Bolas, it's actually fine, because then that puts me at 3 life. Sure. I think that's actually... I think the opponent did not want to kill my creature. 2 cards left in their hand. And what is this? Uh-oh. 5 mana. Unburial Rites, Sin Collector. Okay, that doesn't matter. But now they have... Or now they know I have a Spire Monitor. Alright, Seagate Oracle. Hey, I think we're actually surviving here. The combination of Falconwrath Noble plus the opponent's Moroi is going to make this a little bit interesting. Another island off the top. 2, 4, 6, 7. We do have that Forbidden Alchemy in the graveyard. Can I actually kill them this turn? If I attack with everything... No, because these bounce off each other. Never mind. Yeah, we're just going to have to pass here. And we're actually just dead on board. Dead on board. And I have nothing in my deck that costs 1 that I can survive off. That's too bad. Alright, dead on board it is. Well, let's go digging and see if there's actually anything in there. But there is not, as 2 Dinrova Horrors meet the bin. So block, chump, block, and I will take lethal. Unfortunately, Falcon Wrath Noble is a trigger, so we're going to take lethal damage before any of those triggers get to resolve. I don't think there was any way that I could attack there, because too many of our creatures just bounced off each other. So, unfortunate, but we went up against a better Esper deck. Let's see if we can at least pull off a 2-1. The third and final match here with our sweet Esper deck. Currently 1-1, hoping to pull off a 2-1. And I kept this hand because I thought one of these planes was an island, but turns out planes are not islands, and this was probably just a really bad keep. Hopefully I can draw into a blue source. Our opponent mulliganed to 6. Oh boy. We'll see if we can get out of this one. We got the late game topped off. We have a late game plan. We just need to find that island and a few more lands. Sylvan Ranger here from the opponent, who is leading on blue-green. Frequently blue-green paired with either black or white. Phantasmal Image, also not exactly the card that we were looking for. But the opponent found another found another forest with their Sylvan Ranger, although they did just play a plains here. So we're probably playing against more of a token-y deck. Talon Trooper, okay, did not expect that. Hey, right on curve, we found an island. Good news for us. Our Talon Troopers can just bounce off each other, and well, now we're just gonna look for some lands. Double Dinrova Horror / triple Dinrova Horror. Because of the Phantasmal Image is going to do some good work. Ooh, but Gaia's Anthem is going to make their Talon Trooper a little bit larger than mine. Okay. Well, there's an Evil Twin. We have a few options. I think Evil Twin here is just fine, though. Copy the Talon Trooper. Hell, I could even copy the Sylvan Ranger to get a land. Oh boy, that might actually be slightly better. No, let's just copy the flyer. I have Forbidden Alchemy to find us a land. So next turn I can go Forbidden Alchemy off of Island and both of our planes. Hopefully Hidden Island. And kill their Talon Trooper as well. We'll see if I get punished for not copying their Sylvan Ranger though. Alright. Troops back in the red zone. I'll take another 3, fall down to 13. And a Penumbra Spider. Yowza. Now it's debate time. Do I want to get greedy in Forbidden Alchemy main phase for a blue source? I think I do. Which we did not hit. So we'll just take another swamp. Binning a Linvala, Spire Monitor, and a Ghostly Flicker. Hopefully this isn't going to be a regretful experience. Wow, no attacks from the opponent, though, is kind of absurd. Holy moly, what? How did they not attack there? Jeez, I can't even do anything about that, can I? Man, oh man. Oh, if I could just start chaining these Dinrovas, we'd be in such good shape. Okay. I think a Phantasmal Image on Penumbra Spider's in order here, as our Penumbra Spider blocks both their Talon Trooper and their Penumbra Spider. Can buy me some extra time. And even if our image gets targeted and dies, we're still going to get another 2/4 out of the deal. I think the opponent should be attacking here with their Rock's Warmonk at the very least. Because now I've hit my ever-important 6 mana, and I got to start doing this. Bounce your Warmonk. You discard a card. They discard a Pitfall Trap. Okay. Heck, and now next turn I can just go Falconwrath Noble, shoot your Talon Trooper with my Talon Trooper. Opponent had a few turns there to press the advantage, and I don't think they took opportunity of it. Don't mind taking a hit for 4. Not anymore, anyway. All right, the Rock's Warmonk comes back down. And a Mistraven joins the fray as well. And I think we're sitting in pretty good shape. Okay. So I'll trade off the horror here, or at least offer the trade, and just chump their Rock's Warmonk with the spider. Get a few lovely triggers. And now we have some really nice targets for our soul manipulation in the graveyard. No plays. All right, end of turn. Finally shoot their Talon Trooper. Could have done that a long time ago. Drain them for an extra 1. And that's again Dinrova Horror there. Rock's Warmonk. Are they going to flicker it in response? Momentary blink, maybe? Deputy of Acquittals. Okay, so they're doing this so that they don't have to discard a card, which makes sense. They'd end up discarding the Deputy anyways or something similar, I imagine. Wait, they're bouncing their Sylvan Ranger? What? Are they going to... Oh, okay, so the opponent made a slight mistake here. I don't think they realized that if they had bounced their Rock's Warmonk with the Deputy, that they would not have to discard a card from the Dinrova Horror. Ooh, Arachnus Spinner. There's another nice one. Wow, a Cackling Counterpart too? We are just drawing it all, aren't we? I can actually Mistraven my own Evil Twin to get some additional value if I really wanted. But I think I'm just going to Mistraven their Spinner, keep tempoing them, even though I'm unable to attack into their 3/5. We'll see if they have a web. Targeting my Talon Trooper. They, in fact, do. All right. But this is just starting to get way out of hand for them. Because now what I'm going to do is Cackling Counterpart my Dinrova Horror, bounce their Spinner, and then counter the Spinner on the way back down. Oh, this is getting nasty. This is getting nasty. They discarded the Warmonk. Wow, so they have Spinner and a card that's better than Warmonk in their hand currently. I wonder if it's the Simic Sky Swallower. That'd be pretty cool if it was. That would be a card I would enjoy countering for sure. Opportunity? Okay, did not expect that. Not bad. And an Explorer, okay. Also another card that I cannot counter. Yeah, but I suppose I don't mind just 4, 5, 6, 7. Cackling on the Dinrova once again. Bouncing their Penumbra Spider and then attacking in with all of our creatures. I'm going to get punished by a Terminus, I'm sure. Wow, they discarded a secondary Rox Warmonk? They have a lot of good Bant cards. Holy moly. I guess there was no point attacking with the 2/4, as it simply bounces. Yeah, it's basically Terminus or bust for them. Deathhood Cobra doesn't do it. What else we got here? Stoic Angel! Okay. That's pretty good. Alright, let's untap one of our 4/4s. Oh, that's hilarious. God, I can't even attack into it. The Stoic Angel's too big. Oh my gosh. Alright. I mean, they're still in pretty poor shape, but at least Stoic Angel bought a lot of time. Wow, that's silly. That is silly. Here comes their spider back down. I guess we'll just counter that. And get back our Dinrova Horror. I know they have that other spider in their hand, of course, but I don't mind just countering it, especially if they don't have another land here, which they do not. Awesome. Now we get to flash in our Spire Monitor, and they should be dead here, as I imagine attack from everything after bouncing their Stoic Angel should be game. Although, yeah. I'm gonna attack with everything. They discarded another Anthem. Holy moly. Do they have a Fog here? That would be insane. Just Druid's Deliverance. Get me. Deputy of Acquittals. Sure. Pretty sure they're still just dead on board. They take at least 3 from one unblocked creature. Yeah, they're just dead here. Oh wait, no, that's not true. They go to 1, actually. They go to 1, and they cannot use Deathhood Cobra to trade away with my Dinrova Horror because of the Falconwrath Noble. We know they have Stoic Angel and they have the Spider in their hand, but it looks like they gave a Death Touch anyway, so that's going to be 4 triggers, and that is going to be exact lethal. Crazy powerful Bant deck. They played no cards that were below, like, good quality. Double Warmonk, double Anthem, Opportunity, Spider, Stoic Angel. Wow. Crazy good deck. Fortunately for us, Dinrova Horror at common is absurd. This is another matchup where I think Agent of Masks generally shines. It is dirtily, it is a 5-mana 2/3, but they don't have much removal, and so that just sits there tick-tocking. I will cut the Alchemy once again, and we're going to ship it back. And let's just pull off a 2-1 with this sweet, sweet deck, shall we? Second game of the final match. We are on the draw. And I think I'm going to have to mulligan this one. 2 6s, a 5, missing a color. Just too many things need to go right for this hand to really work out. And even more things need to go right for this one. So let's go down to 5. And keep this. Hope to get there. Ooh, I'm actually going to keep the Mistraven on top, even though we're missing that second blue source, as I do already have a Mist Meadow Witch in my hand, and Raven is a pretty good way to get back in the game. especially after going down to 5 cards. Let's hope that the opponent doesn't have too quick a start. Coiling Oracle, okay. Revealing a land. Well, they do have some ramp, if nothing else. Sin Collector, not so good here. Just going to run out the Witch. I'm not going to block with it just yet, but given a few turns, if we don't draw some lands or something, then I might just trade it off for the Coiling Oracle. All right, Rock's Warmonk, turn 3. Yeah, turn 3. Second blue source, though, is a go. And now I get to Mistraven next turn, which is pretty good. I am behind the opponent, though. Even though we're going to get some nice tempo back with the Mistraven, there's still going to be a few threats ahead of me, most likely. Oh, if not even more. Double Cobra now, sure. Either toe can also help us get back in the game. All right. Not shabby. So let's bounce the Warmonk. We're going to take 4 next turn. And then I'm just going to pass my next turn and either toe them. They're probably just under the assumption that I'll be using my Mistmeadow Witch, but in reality I'll be pseudo double time walking. As we fall down to 11 here. Another Guildgate from the opponent and that Warmonk again. Still looking for some more lands. Unfortunately, that is not one of them. Alright, so they're just going to attack with all 3, I would imagine. All 4, okay. So we'll put the Mistraven on top of the Coiling Oracle. And we are going to toe them up. Target the one that we want on top first. So now the first one that's going to resolve is the Rock's Warmonk. So Rock's Warmonk is going to go further underneath, and they're going to draw their 2/2 next turn as opposed to their 3/4. Penumbra Spider, sure. There's another land. And we'll just pass. Looking for one more land, and then we get to start chaining Dinrova horrors with our Mistmeadow Witch. What we're going to do here is we're going to block one of their creatures with our Raven, and then flicker it. Remember, that comes back at the end of the turn. Here comes their Warmonk again. Oh, sorry, no. Warmonk is next. Spider first. Or Snake first. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we get to start doing some real nice things with the Dinrova Horror. Let's bounce their Cobra. Let's make them discard a card. And heck, if we draw another untapped land next turn, we get to play one of our 3-drops in addition to using the Mistmeadow Witch here. Deputy of Acquittals, sure. Let's see if they correctly bounce their Deathhood Cobra this time, which they do. All right, so they don't have to discard. I'm just going to pass the turn anyways. I wasn't planning on attacking. Now they can cast out their Warmonk and their other Cobra. If they attack with the Cobra, I will trade away for the Mistraven at this point, but it looks like they're not going to do that if they're just playing out all their creatures. Augur of Bolas, not terrible. It does still let me use the Mistmeadow Witch in addition to developing out my board still. Alright, 3 whiffs. Let's bounce our Dinrova, get it back at end of turn, and bounce back their Rock's Warmonk in their hand. Just continuously making them discard. Pitfall Trap, again, a discard for them. Seems good. Okay, the snakes come in. Mr. Raven blocks one. And I'll take the other two. Explore, sure. It's nice that they're kind of tempted to not play any lands out because of the Dinrova horror. As Rock's Warmonk makes its way to the battlefield again, and there's another land. Perfect. Let's cast out the Sin Collector, see what's going on. And then we'll do the old Dinrova trick again. Spider and Forest, sure. I actually get to attack here with the Dinrova horror first, because if they double block it, I can just flicker their Deputy of Acquittals and then eat their Warmonk for free. Alright, get in for 4. Let's do the old bouncy bounce trick once again. Let's bounce the Warmonk. Certainly not very fun to play against. I do apologize to the opponent. But this is one of the best decks in the format, like I was mentioning earlier. And again, one of the reasons why this format has become a little bit stale. So Spider and Warmonk still in hand, one unknown. Talon Trooper is that unknown, all right. And we drew an Evil Twin, okay. What does that mean? Well, we get to start doing some shenanigans with Evil Twin as well, but I'm just going to make it another Dinrova horror at this point. We can flicker it if need be. And yeah, this game is looking pretty academic. They're going to need to find a Sky Swallower plus a land to really get out of this one. Oh, and God forbid I drew another land. So now I can flicker twice, which means I get to attack in for 8 here. This is not a great block. All right, so let's target their Deputy. Dinrova eats their Warmonk. And that's going to be all she wrote. All right, so very, very sweet deck. Let's take a look at it one more time. Triple Dinrova horror with Miss Metal Witch and some other flickers in our Esper build. The only loss that we picked up was versus the better Esper deck that had multiple Tower Gargoyles, Restoration Angel, etc., etc. But I think this deck was really good. And like I mentioned earlier, this is probably going to be the last Modern Masters draft that I upload to Numot Gaming and YouTube, as again, they have become a bit stale. Although it was a good run while it lasted. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please don't forget to comment down below if you saw any terrible mistakes. I'm sure I've made plenty. But for now, for everybody here at Numot Gaming, thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out all of our other content on Numot Gaming and on YouTube. Take it easy.